nervous?
No,
Come on. We are back on the Lakota West Sports Show, brought to you on Chatterbox live from our favorite place, Buffalo Wings and Rings in Beckett Ridge. I've got 2 stars from the game this past Friday night that we're going to talk to. Let's hear it nice and loud here and at home for senior running back Josh Brogdon and senior defensive back William Barber. All right, Josh, let's get started with you. 2 touchdowns on the season so far. You've got one in the win versus Sycamore and then another one in the win versus Fairfield. 142 rushing yards so far. You had a rushing touchdown that broke the tie in Friday night's game. Walk us through that play, the call. Just take us back to that moment.
All right, so
talk nice and loud because we got to make sure we can hear you in here.
So pretty much we got that play. It was called a couple of times, but it was pulled. So I was just waiting. I was waiting for my time to shine.
Yeah.
So Mitch, he's a good quarterback. So obviously when he actually gave it, I knew it was there. So I just saw the edge, and then I took it. And then Jordan Jackson right there, he had a real nice pick about 2 yards away from the end zone, and I scored. I got in there.
Yep. Big play of the game, and thanks for walking us through that. Let me kind of take you back to the beginning, really the first 3 quarters of the game that we just talked with Coach Bolden about. Why do you think the offense struggled to get things going early on in that game versus Fairfield?
It's really just a mindset thing. We went in there with the mindset that we were going to win, so it probably wasn't taken as serious as it should have been taken in the first 3 quarters. But obviously we got it together and we put out the win. 4th quarter, we came out the locker room. We were just saying we're going to take everything because when we were down, we were like just rushing to make a play, but we just took everything slow. I told everybody, clear your head. We're going to get through this, and we're going to keep doing what we've been doing since week 1 and make a play and beat them.
That's the kind of senior leadership you need right there, and this guy was a big help as well. That senior defensive back, William Barber, big interception in the game versus Fairfield, 21 unanswered points after the interception, so definitely the game changer for momentum. Here's something that we got to recognize this guy for, named one of the athletes of the week in the GMC. How about that for an accomplishment? Job well done, young man.
Thank you.
William, again, the defense comes up big for the Firebirds, and your interception, in my mind, had to be the turning point in the game. Walk us through the interception. How big was that play?
So basically, all throughout the second half, every time I'm on the sideline, I'm talking to my defense like, hey, we got to make a play soon. Like, it's got to be us. So we get on the field for that possession, and I'm just trying to make sure all my guys are locked in. Everyone's doing their job. And so when we get to that play, and Fisher drops back to pass, I had a great rush by Kwesi Jones, Alex Afari, Jair. They're all doing their job, so we had to throw the ball to my side. Yeah. And I was just blessed, and I made a good play on the ball.
And here's what I love about these guys. They're all so selfless. They get up here, and immediately the first thing they're talking about is everybody else on the team. You got to love seeing it, and it's got to be a key to their success. You had to stretch. You had some hops to get up and get that one back.
I thought it was going over me at first.
Yeah, I did too. But somehow you made a play. Very impressive play. Now, talking about your teammate, Alex Afari had a big pick 6 that sealed the victory for the Firebirds. You've got to feel good about this defense's ability to make big plays at just the right moment, right?
Yeah, and I think, with how many guys that we have on our defense that are so physically gifted, a lot of it's just making sure that their heads are in the game, that they're making sure they're locked in on their assignments, not taking plays off. So I think that play for Alex was so huge because he didn't see a lot of action throughout the entire game. So for him to stay locked in on his job, man-to-man coverage, and make that play and take it to the house, that was really big and showed a lot of development in Alex, not just physically but mentally as well.
Without a doubt, and that's one of the things I think I love so much about this game, honestly. As ugly as it might have been, it taught you something about this team. Now, you heard your coach say that this was an ugly win, but it's a win nonetheless, right? But I imagine there's some things that look a little bit different in preparation for this week when you're coming off of a game that doesn't quite go according to the game plan that you had tried to execute. So either one of you, talk about what practices looked like this week, what adjustments you make. I know we're just at Monday, but what things have changed this week to prepare for the Highlanders?
Well, most importantly, Coach B and everybody, we've been getting into it with the O-linemen just making sure that they're doing better at their job. I've been talking to the running backs. I'm pretty sure as far as defense goes, Barber's been talking to his DBs. But that type of plan is not going to get us to the big game. It's not going to make us get too far in the playoffs. So we're obviously going to turn it around. We're going to do what we need to do and eventually make it to the state championship and hopefully win it.
There you go.
And I think kind of adding on to that, I think leading up to Fairfield, the practice throughout the week, there was kind of that vibe that, like, some guys were getting a little bit too comfortable, with where we're at. Like, 3-0 was cool and all, but we have to understand that we want more. We're too good to just to settle in. And so Fairfield for us was kind of like our wake-up call. Like, for as good as we know that we should be, like, that game shouldn't have been that close going into the fourth. So this week it's a lot more paying attention to assignments, making sure everyone's keyed in on their jobs, so that we don't have any more close calls. Like, when we get on that field, we know what we're supposed to do, and that there's no question about it from the first snaps to the last.
Yeah, it's so well said by both of you, and I think just being able to come out of this situation knowing that you got to stay hungry, right? Because that's the big danger. Anytime you get into a team that is winning like crazy, right, there's just that natural thing. You get comfortable. You rely on what's worked in the past. So definitely good to see you guys making some adjustments. Josh, let's talk to you real quick. I've got a question that might, to the untrained eye, you might not have noticed it, but I noticed after the touchdown run, you go in the end zone, you immediately go over. You're not even paying attention to the team at that point. You're celebrating with somebody there on the track. Who was that, and who were you saying hi to?
Jackson Kuwatch, his dad is probably one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Like, he's at almost every practice out throughout the season. He's probably only missed about 3 of them.
Yeah.
But that's one of the guys that I've seen. He has taken like 10 people after practice, and they're in there getting extra work. Barber can tell you, like, they're out there with the donut getting tackles in. And he's a student of the game.
He is.
He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's even talked to me about doing certain things like this, like in a run when I scored a touchdown. He was pointing like, beat that corner and you in there. And I got to the corner and I got in. So I had to let him know that I was looking out for him and watching him.
Yeah, he's a special guy. I got to meet him after the first show, and he came up and talked to me afterwards, and you're exactly right. He's a student of the game, but he's probably one of Lakota West's biggest fans.
For sure.
And he has so much fun watching you guys, so it really says a lot about your character that the first thing you do is just go up and celebrate with somebody who's given so much to you and the team.
Definitely.
Absolutely. William, the defense continues to make an impression on the entire GMC. As a defense, what do you think are the big differentiators or the things that just set your squad apart from everybody else that's out there playing right now?
I think what makes us different is that we're finally getting a lot of the guys on defense. I think all of our guys on defense, actually, from D-line, linebackers to DBs, we're all buying into the game plan that we set out, and we're all doing our job. Like, we understand that not everyone is going to make every single play, but if everyone does their job, they can open up opportunities for everyone else in the defense.
Yep.
No one's selfish. No one's trying to not do their job to try and make a play that's not theirs. We understand our roles, and we're starting to really come together as a team. Something that, early on in the season, like preseason, scrimmage, things like that, wasn't really there. But I think especially going into Fairfield in that third and fourth quarter, where we're all super calm, like no one's panicking, like we know what we're supposed to do. Yeah. Like no one's out of their game. We're all locked in, doing our job, and it showed.
Makes a big difference. Now, you're both seniors, okay? Tell us about your plans coming up next year. I know we still got a long amount of senior year left, but I'm always interested in hearing about what you want to accomplish next year. Josh, let's start with you.
So I'm definitely, without a doubt, I'm going to UC. Even if
Good for you.
I want to play sports in UC too.
Okay.
So if I don't get offered, then I'm definitely going to walk on.
Good for you.
I just like that. I like that environment. I love sports. And on top of that, my mom's actually an alumni at UC.
Is she?
So
awesome.
she went to Xavier. Then she also went to UC. She's a real smart woman.
Xavier and UC.
Yes, sir.
She did the crosstown
Yes, sir.
shootout on her own, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go there. I'm going to major in physical therapy, and I'm thinking about minoring in business just so when I get over, I can be self-made and own my own thing and, make money and make my family proud.
That's right.
So,
well, you're already making them proud, I can tell.
Yes, sir. But that's the big thing that I plan on doing as soon as I get out of high school.
Good for you, Josh. Good for you. How about Will?
For me, I'm not sure where I want to go to college just yet, just because, with everything that's going on right now, college visits are very limited.
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person, so I need to be in the environment to get a good feel for it. There's no amount of virtual tours and stuff like that. It's going to be yes, that's the place. So, and I have a couple of football offers, D1 and D3. But I think right now I'm just taking my time with it, just seeing which opportunities present themselves, which new opportunities may come, before the end of the season, and just taking my time. I kind of think that in terms of academics, majoring something in business, something related to marketing.
Good for you.
So that's probably going to play a big role as to where I end up going, at that next level. But, that's kind of my plans for after high school.
Set the record aside. Set the stats aside. At the end of the day, when you sit down and when you talk with these two guys, you can tell there's something special. You can tell they've got character, and you can tell they've got drive. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for Josh Brogdon, William Barber, stars of the game in last week's game win versus Fairfield. We are going to put a bow on this one with 10 with Tom coming to you after this break. You are watching the Firebird Sports Show, brought to you on Chatterbox Live.